How's it going, everyone? This is your friend Tom Moore coming at you live from the Miller Club here on YouTube and Facebook. Broadcasting live, doing a little live sharpening today. I haven't done this for a couple days. I've been making FFIBs and other stuff, making some shorts, but now I got some really cool knives in and can't not let you guys see how cool this is. And I also have to make a video for the owner so he can see how cool it is, sharpened. But I got this guy back. This is one of my favorite knives I've ever had the pleasure of sharpening. It's a Spidey hole Sebenza, and it's really dope. I really like it. I sharpened it, and then he took it and realized he had to have the blade tumbled and acid washed or dark stone washed or something. It's refinished blade. So I have to resharpen it. So it's been sharpened once before by me, so it should be pretty easy, hopefully, to touch up. But we'll put a mirror on this guy. Make me want one really bad. What else is going on? Okay, let's get going. I kind of really want a knife just like this, kind of like this a lot. But I did get another Sebenza in today, and it's an exceptionally good example that I can open easily with the thumb stud, which is like, I don't know if you guys realize how big of a deal it is, because I suck at thumb studs. And I'm not just saying like, oh, I don't know how to deal with thumb studs because I don't play with them. I've been into knives for like 20 years, and I've never been good at thumb studs. And I've tried for like 20 years to get good at thumb studs. But this one I could roll open. It was really nice. Okay. 150 grit stone, because this got tumbled. This probably needs to be re-apexed a bit. So we're going to take off some material. Let's tape this up. I went to look at what angle I sharpened this at, but I didn't put it in the text message to the fella. It's only on the YouTube video the first time I sharpened it. So we'll find it with a Sharpie. I think it's around 20. I don't know if it's 19 and a half or 20 and a half or 21. It's around 20 though. All these Sebenzas have been around 20, occasional one around a degree or two more. Okay, we're just going to find the angle with the Sharpie method. Since I've sharpened this before, if everything is set correctly and nothing's moved in my sharpener, it should be even bevels. So let's zoom in. Okay, so the angle we're at now is about 17. We're going to crank it down to about 20 to start, right about there. And give it a check. This is loose. Whoa, fell right out. There we go. Stone holder was loose. Okay. Okay, where we set it is better to be lucky than good, you know. Look at that edge. All the Sharpie's gone. So whatever angle this at should be the right angle. Let's check this other side real quick. Ooh, beautiful as well. Let's see what angle this is. That was a guess. I didn't even put an angle cube on it to start with. Yeah, 20.5. I remember this one now. We were at 20.4. So 20.5 is what we're going to sharpen at. And this is a touch-up edge, so it should be profiled. This should be really quick. This isn't a full price mirror because I already profiled it. I love resharpening things that I've already sharpened. Well, I do when they line up and the jaw's right. Because your jaws, these springs on the jaw, you have to adjust. I didn't do this for the first long time I owned this because I didn't know it, because this is from Russia and no one tells you shit about these things. You just have to learn. You're supposed to loosen up all these screws. There's 4 on top, 4 on the bottom. This is the spring for the center clamp. And you're supposed to take the knife. I did this the other day, so it's right. It was already right, but I checked it. You measure from here to the desk with a tape measure, and then you flip it, and you measure from here to the desk tape measure, and it should be the same measurement. And if it is, that means this is calibrated, and you're sharpening the same on both sides. Because if that's not, you'll have a little bit variation on your degrees, and it won't be the same. So if you go to clamp it up on a system that is straight, your bevels won't be right. So for quite a while, a couple of months when I was using this thing, it was fairly uncalibrated. I didn't know that. I just threw the springs on there and didn't even think about it again. Yeah, you got to calibrate those, especially if you replace these, because these are the heavy springs. So this is the TSProf center fillet clamp. I'm going to get the center clamp, normal one is what I suggest getting, but this is what was in stock. This center clamp is great. It's awesome. These are 2 springs right here. But the ones that they come with in the factory are really flimsy. And there's the mechanics of how this works means you need stronger springs to make it so you don't flex up and down when you sharpen with some pressure. Lines right up. Okay. So CRKs can take a little bit to get a burr going. That is for sure. I don't know what it is about the steel, or if it's just steel, or if it's just Chris Reeve knives, but at least on the S35 VN Sebenzas I've sharpened, I don't know if this is Magna Cut or not. They're so hard to feel the burr. So, like, we're obviously at the right angle. We're using a 150 stone. This should be creating a burr. We should be apexed right now. So let's do a few passes, and it should be fine. Okay, we got a very faint burr, which means there's a burr. If you have any burr, it means it's been apexed. This steel just does not make a big burr for me, ever. So these usually take a lot longer to sharpen for me because I never know if they're done. You gotta be really delicate when you touch it with your fingernail to catch it. Make sure my stock colors. Okay. Okay. So we're good. Now we're going to go 400 grit, and we're just going to polish this edge up to 5,000 grit. We get a mirror on it pretty quick. Then we get to go create content. That's like my favorite part about getting cool knives in, is I get to like create content with other people's knives, which I think is exciting for people to get to see what they're have coming back to them, because I'm pretty proud of my work. It looks pretty cool on video anyway. So I like to be able to create some excitement. I like creating these sharpening videos so people can watch them back later. Like, I like this to be a positive experience, and more than just the way that you send me knives and you fairly quickly get them back. I want to make this fun. Love the new view. What up, Eric Mason? And I can do this. Because I got a real camera with a real zoom lens that I reach up with my hand and change and all that jazz. Yep, Sharpening the Sebenza. This one's been in before, and it's in for a touched-up edge because it got the blade darkened and tumbled. This is going to look so good. So it just took a while. I've been aware of Chris Reeve knives for a very long time. I've handled one, the first one probably, I don't know, 6-7 years ago was the first time I actually got to handle one. And I never could open them. Never. And so I've been getting tons of CRKs into sharpen. It's the most common high-end knife I get into sharpen by far is Chris Reeve. And so I've played with a ton of them now. And now I can kind of open them. I just took some practice and some work. And now I kind of want one. Like this, though, with the Spidey hole. Because that really makes it easy. Quick past 400 just to make sure we get all the stuff off of it. Before we get to a mirror. Look at it in the light. Okay, look at it in the light. Alrighty. Eric got his first Chris Reeve last year, and he likes it. Everyone seems to like them. I will say that. There's not too many people that own them that don't like them. Everyone's pretty big fans of them. And I'm getting there. I like the way they feel, how solid they feel. Just opening and closing is really nice. The lock is nice. It is a sturdy feeling knife. I can flick this one, though, open, which is pretty cool, but it's very broken in, I think. Okay, and this just makes the burr just fall to crumbs on the ground, this 800 grit stone. It's like black powder just like appears when the stone hits the edge. And it gets nicely semi-matte polished pretty quick. Oh, we got 9 people watching us. That's actually quite a few. Well, thank you all for joining me. If you're watching this on YouTube, you're tuned into the Spyderco Millie PM2 Para 3 Club. My name is Tom Moore, and I'm sharpening a Sebenza. If you're in the Facebook group watching this right now, you should go check out my sweet YouTube channel for the Millie Club and subscribe. I'm really putting a lot of work into it. I'm trying to create a lot of content. The FFIBs are up there, Eric Lesser interviews, product reviews, how-to videos, sharpening videos, a lot of sharpening videos. I upload lots of like shorts, like, short videos, showing off my edges. All that stuff's on the YouTube channel. So if you ever want to check out old content that's not live, head over there. Okay. Okay, now we're going 2000 grit. This is where the polish comes out. We're going to go to 5K for a little extra fun. Yeah, these are fun to sharpen. Fun to make these look nice. This is like the one knife I always recommend putting a mirror on just because they look so good. Spydercos can go either way. I like putting satin edges on Spydercos because they cut really nice and mirrors aren't necessary. And I don't know, sometimes it looks overdressed to give a mirror on just like a plain G10 Spyderco. It looks like it's out of place kind of. But these look nice and they cut nice. And people actually use these. I will say these knives come in, they're actually been cut with. In pockets and used. Quite a few of them. Harley says, would love to see a video on how to grab a Spyderco in the TSProf. I really struggle with holding PM2s or anything with the distal taper. The way I accommodate this, and it works really well. See this piece of stuff right here? It's called chamois cloth. It's made of sheepskin, and so it has some give to it. Put that over your blade and just clamp it in the clamp, and it will center it because it like will mold to the shape and it'll line it up for you kind of because it's got some give to it. So I have plastic dip on these two, so I don't really need this anymore. But for me, this has worked really well. You take the jack screw. This is the part I don't understand so well, and I have the single fillet clamp. I don't have the single clamp. So mine's a little bit different, but there's a screw here. You jack that down so the jaws go like this. So you open this part of the jaws up so you can clamp this down kind of. So mine's as wide as it goes all the time. I just leave mine set there. It works for me. Yeah, so open the jack screw up wide. If you have the center clamp, that is. So if you don't have center clamp, let me know. And then use chamois cloth. That's how I've clamped. It works for me. Some people have questioned my methods. Whatever. You don't have to copy them, but it works for me great. As you can see, since I was able to resharpen something exactly where it was without doing anything else, I didn't have to center the thing. I just put it back in my clamp and I resharpened the bevels at 20.5 degrees, just like I did last time. Yeah, in general, that's part of why I like doing this. I know there's a lot of sharpening stuff on the internet, and I don't watch it, to be honest. I don't watch other people's sharpening videos. I don't watch a lot of YouTube. I'm new to YouTube, and I'm getting new to do it by being a creator here. So I'm starting to watch stuff. So I don't know what is out there as far as lessons. I learned to sharpen on a KME from watching Knife Crazy videos. Knife and Crazy with the K. He has a couple tutorials on the KME that were great. That was like crack. It got me sucked into sharpening, and that was like my grail of like instructional know-how on the KME. So I don't know if there's other great resources out there, but Knife Crazy's videos a few years ago were great. And I only hope I can bring some tips and tricks to this that you guys can pick up on and give you a reason to watch me sharpen. Okay, this is a 5,000 stone, give it a final polish. Okay, now we're going to strop this. We're going to go with the 1 micron strop. We have to adjust the angle to 20.5 degrees. Zero it. And go up about 1/2 degree. Wipe off the dust from the edge. It's weird now, like being zoomed out. I like looking at my monitor to see what the edge looks like. So this is actually handy for me because I can see what I'm doing on my screen, like looking through a microscope. Okay. Only pull strokes. It's so tempting sometimes to want to push. Oh my God. It's like those invasive thoughts. You're like, ooh, I just want to push. I want to push, and it will just destroy your leather in an instant. But sometimes I'll see a scratch and I'm like, ooh, if I just scrub up on it, it'll get better. And I do in a moment of weakness. and then I screw up my strop. So there's a lot of debate going on the sharpening groups right now because no one has a real answer to this that I can tell. So these are metallic bonded CBN stones. I have been told the appropriate way to not necessarily lap. These don't get, I've used the shit out of these and they're dead flat. Like, you take another one and you put it on there. They're completely flat, no wear, good to go. But to expose new fresh grit, I had these etched with ferric chloride acid by Sean Houston. And I've also heard that you're not supposed to do that, though. So I've heard you're supposed to lap these, but I have silicon carbide powder, which is what you use to lap stones. It's just you put it on a piece of glass and you rub the stone around on silicon carbide. I have 5 different grits of it. I can try it again. I don't need to. There's no reason I see that I need to yet. But I don't know if I'm doing that part right or if it works on these metallic bonded CBN stones. I don't know. I haven't got a clear answer on what you're supposed to do for maintenance on these stones, but I haven't had any problems using them. So I just keep on using them. I didn't do any. Some people say when you get these stones, you're supposed to do something to them before you ever sharpen, but I do not find that to be the case. I'll give it a try. Center clamp, jack it open, and use a bit of chamois. Yep, that's all you got to do. Okay, now we're going to strop this with 0.5 micron. Just a light touch on the strop. And we're going to call it good after this one. Let's see how it looks. I can't wait to make a video of this. Oh, we have another knife to sharpen, though. We have a Brown FSD to sharpen. I was going to do that. I want to take Instagram videos of this so bad, though. It looks so good. Okay. Okay, and check the whole edge. Okay, the whole edge cuts. There's no snags. Cuts easy. Cuts little slivers. Easy enough. Now we're going to get some, I'm sure there's some marker on here. Yeah. Oh, yeah, a little bit of marker on here. It's always some Sharpie. I don't know how you guys get Sharpie off your edges. That's the only thing that, like, I always recommend, like, always follow the Sharpie and stuff. But I've never seen anyone say, oh, yeah, and then when you are done to get it off, you have to use a magic eraser and a cleaning detergent or whatever it is that they use. Because that Sharpie can be a bitch to get off of the face of a blade. Like, I've thought that Sharpie was permanent on steel before because how much scrubbing with a rag or a handkerchief or whatever I was using to try and get it off. But if you use a Mr. Clean Magic Eraser, they come right off very easily. I use a little Gunny Glow, this stuff, as a little cleaning helper. It's a very non-toxic-y smelling, doesn't smell like anything. That's why it's like, I don't know how to describe it, but it's not like a normal cleaner. It's not like bleachy or anything like that. Okay, and here we go. 5,000 grit mirror on this sweet Spidey Hole Sebenza. Really cool knife. Really easy to open. Wow. Well, that was fun. Now, we have another really cool knife to sharpen. Is that the Worker Sebenza I missed the other day? Man, I wanted that knife. I'm not sure what you mean by Worker Sebenza. This one belongs to a member of the group that had it sharpened and then had it refinished and then sent it back to get resharpened. So this one is a little bit different. I was looking at this knife earlier today on how to clamp it. So I'm going to go without the chamois cloth because there's no flat spot here at all. So I can clamp on a taper, but it's kind of hard when I also have a flat spot. So I'm going to try to grab right here because the blade has a taper there. So the flat spot I want to clamp right there basically. So the blade's not going to be centered, but I think that's going to be our best bet to hold it square in the clamp, like right there. It's not centered at all, but the center from here to here, I want to be the closest. So we'll leave it like that. What up, Night's Edge? Would I recommend the center clamp or the brackets? The bracket, if you get one, you get the 3D printed one that's $30 on Gritomatic. If it's sold out, I can connect you with the guy on Facebook who makes it. He just 3D prints them at home, I'm sure. But he's on the TSProf group and he talks about creating it sometimes. That's only $30 to do this center clamp. This is the center fillet clamp, but the normal center clamp, one, is out of stock, and two, you have to upgrade these springs so it doesn't flex on you, which they're more expensive than they should be, and they rust. And because I used to sharpen with water. Anyway, I don't see an issue. I kind of want to try the brackets again. So I would suggest just getting the 3D printed bracket that lets you use your factory clamps in the center before you invest in this, because you can't invest in this right now because it is sold out. Okay, Sharpie. Okay. For 150 grit stone in here. Okay, let's see where we're at. I think we were around 20 on that CRK. So let's see where we're at here on this guy. We are pretty close. It's probably 20-degree edge then. Okay. Oh, man. It's like right on. We're getting lucky. Of course, these are pretty... If this is a 20-degree edge, that would make sense, but that's where it seems like it's lining up. 20 degrees. That's what it is. So that's where we're going to sharpen at. What up, Derek? Message me on Facebook because I like communicating with people when I know what they look like. And Instagram, it's like hard for me to figure out who people are in the group. So I like Facebook Messenger better because I feel like I'm talking to a real person. And I'm more likely to answer it because I get a lot of crap messages on Instagram and people message me that aren't very serious. So I don't pay as much attention to my Instagram DMs. So yeah, hit me up on Facebook. Okay. We got our tape. Let's make sure we can get the whole edge, no problem. We get under the light. Okay. I think these are made of CPM 154, unless it's one of the special ones. It's like 20 CD. I think he makes most of these out of 154. And every once in a while, he'll run 20 CD stuff. So one of those two steels. I'm doing cardio and watching you. Ooh, this is cardio for me. It gets my arms working out, pumping. I need to get back to the gym. I got like 5 months or less. By June, I got to drop some LBs because I'm turning 40. And I have a goal I'm trying to hit. And I have to get a new driver's license. And I want to be able to go in to the DMV when I get my driver's license right before my birthday. And I want to be able to like list my weight as my actual weight and be happy with it. Which I think is just like, if I can get like 195, I'd be pretty happy. I'm like 212 right now. But I'm always 212 and I have been forever. And I barely ever fluctuate. It's hard for me to go up or down more from that. It's actually not hard to go up. This is kind of where I get stuck at when I try to go down without exercising. Okay, we got an apex edge there. Let's do this out real quick once more. Okay, just make sure we got a burr. We do. We do. We do. Okay. Quick pass, knock the burr down. Make sure it looks good. $400. Holy shit, that's like a lot. 163 is the least I have weighed as a 30-year-old or older adult was 163. And that was really skinny. So that's a lot of weight. I was 243 and went down to 198, and then I've been stuck at 212 for quite a while. I went down for Blade Show. I dropped down to 200, but as soon as Blade Show was over, I went right back up. So this year I'm trying to actually get in shape. My intermittent fasting diet, but I have been for a very long time. I just don't eat until 3 o'clock in the afternoon. My problem is I eat whatever I want when I do eat, and I eat a lot of it. So basically the diet keeps me from getting fat, but I don't lose any weight right now because I just eat whatever I want. Pretty sweet knife. I was playing with this one as soon as it came in. It was my fidget knife the other day during FFIB. I was kind of playing with it off screen. Okay, let's do one more quick pass. Make sure everything looks good. 400 grit before we move up to where it's hard to fix stuff. Okay, jump up to 800 grit. Polish this up. Anyone get anything cool lately in the mail? Any new knives? I just ordered a Vero Lux the other day, but I haven't had any new knives come in. But I am. Ooh, I can tell you guys a secret. So there's two knives that have emojis that are kind of big fucking deal knives. And I mean like huge fucking deal knives with emojis are dropping in the next month. Two Spyderco knives with emojis that have been around for several years, one of which has not appeared yet. Hopefully will be dropping in February. Hopefully. Another one is dropping in February. Secret. Don't tell anybody. Don't tell anybody, but they're the kind of big deals. Ones that you'll think are pretty cool, not just an average, lightweight native or something like that. These are ones that people will get pretty excited about, I think. These are our 2000 grit stone. All that sharpening dust. Look at the edge, make sure it looks legit. Before we go up any higher, make sure it looks good. Do like doing knives with not gigantic bevels sometimes because it's so much easier to mirror a small bevel and not see any scratches. Everyone's been asking me to sharpen their Tonto Chris Reeves since I did one a couple weeks ago. I've been getting a ton of requests to do Tonto tips. I love doing them because they're really cool looking and they're fun and they're a challenge. But fuck, they're a lot of work. The other day, I spent like 2 hours plus on one. It was worth it, and that one wasn't a cheap edge, but there is something nice to be said about a nice, crispy, small bevel on a high-end knife. It doesn't have to be big and flashy. It can just be like this. It can just be like the Sebenza. $5,000 grit, real quick. Man, I had to pick up someone sent me a knife via UPS, which I don't ever tell anyone not to do that, so I can't be mad about it. But I really prefer the US mail because they come in the morning and UPS comes at weird fucking times to my house, usually at like 8 o'clock at night or when I'm expecting something the next day. Like UPS sucks here. So someone sent me a package and I do have the UPS app, which is nice, and there's some cool features in there. But they missed me signing for the package, and now that I got the package, I see why you wanted a signature. It was a spendy box. But they took my package, not just to like the post office. When they miss you, they take it to the post office. Whatever. I go get those all the time. UPS one took me to somebody's house over in an industrial part of Portland, in between a truck center and this little house with a little thing in the window that said UPS service access here. It was a really weird feeling. It's like, why did they send my package to this sketchy little house in the middle of here? It's weird. But I got it. Okay, we're all done with that. We're going to strop it. Re-zero this. And go up 1/2 degree. Right there. Very careful near the tip on strops. It's so tempting to want to polish all the way to the tip. I do it. I regret it 100% of the times I do it. It never gets me anything. It never like makes the edge look any different than it already did. So just get close to it. Don't try to get the very tip, because you will scar your strop. I kind of need to replace these strops already. They're already pretty trashed. This is going to be pretty money knife in a second, though. Okay. Now I'll hit it with 1/2 micron, and we'll call it good. Okay. I'm so excited. This is going to be sweet. I like sharpening cheap knives. They're fun in their own way. I like sharpening expensive knives, but when knives like this come in, I get really excited to see something I haven't got to play with yet. Like, this is the first time I sharpened one of these before, but other than sharpening these browns, is the only times I've ever seen them is here and for sharpening. Tip off. So it's got a little Sharpie on it. We have to get off. So when you get Sharpie off, do pulling strokes away from the edge. If you do this, you will regret it. You will fuck up. If nothing else, you'll destroy your magic eraser faster than you need to. But you also can cut the shit out of your hand doing that. We just sharpened this, and this is not offering any protection. So pulling strokes off the edge is key to getting marker off with the magic eraser. Beautimus. Beautimus. What up, Wade? Fluid on the diamond stones. I don't use any liquid on my CBN stones. On these, use no liquid. Capstone Premium CBNs. I don't use liquid on them. When I used KME, I used oil instead of water. But Kami, you can also do dry. But I like using oil with diamond stones for the Kami because it pulls the diamond shit out. It doesn't build up it doesn't build up if you use oil. It always is extracting the shit out of the edge of the stone. This is a pretty fun knife. It's like a smock almost, except for the buttons on the correct side. It's not over here. There's one thing, and it's got me a couple times. The way this opens is if you don't move your finger off the flipper and you leave it there, you can get pinched here because it does open with some pressure. So I have been pinched by it a couple times. I've learned my lesson to flip and move away. That's kind of got me. Great fuller action, great button lock, fun to play with. Brown knives are always cool. Craig Brown, who does this knife, is always like he's going through cycles pretty quickly, but he only will make mini ones and full size ones, and then move to a different model, move to a different lock. But he doesn't last on models super long. So I wanted one of these when they were still being made, but it's cool to get to see one and play with it. That wicked mirror polish that you did on my Zon literally got the most likes and views on my Instagram page. You were the man, Tom. It got a lot of likes on Facebook, especially got a lot of likes in the knife sharpening groups. That I was happy to do that because it got me business like crazy. That was a cool knife. Well, alrighty. Thank you all. We'll be back later tonight, but that's it for all, folks. Again, this is Tom Moore on Instagram at Thomas O. Moore. Join the Facebook group, Spyderco Millie, PM2 Para 3 Club. And if you're watching this from Facebook, please go subscribe to my YouTube channel. I'm putting a lot of work in there. So all of my video content, all of Tom Moore's video content, all of it is located on YouTube from moving forward. I mean, Instagram Reels, Sharpening, all that shit. It's all going on YouTube. So check it out. Thank you all. Peace out.